Hello, everyone, and welcome to the October 4th edition of Live from the Adelphi PAC Living Room. My name is Blythe Daylong. I am the Executive Director of the Adelphi University Performing Arts Center. Thank you so much for choosing to spend some time with Adelphi. Now, while we are thrilled to be welcoming back in-person audience to our performances at the Performing Arts Center, we will continue to use this show to bring Adelphi's talented students, faculty, alumni, staff, and other guests to you throughout the semester for those of you who are either not able to join us in person or as an additional way to give you more information and showcase some of the great things we have coming up for you to see in person, like we're going to be doing on this one. Now, on this episode, I'll be speaking with the directors of our upcoming Best of Broadway concerts and talking with some of the students involved in this week's production of the play, The Wolves. But first, one of our Department of Music faculty members had a recital just a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to share some music from that recital. Elaine Camperoni performed a recital of music on the harpsichord, which is her instrument and her specialty. Here she is to first explain the piece of music that you're going to hear, talk a little about it, and we're going to share the first movement of this work with you. Enjoy.
Jean-Philippe Rameau was a contemporary of J.S. Bach. I don't believe they ever met, but they were around the same time. They were, maybe 5 years apart in age or something like that. But he was a very famous opera composer in Paris. But he also composed a very slim volume of harpsichord pieces. And I'm playing one of his latest suites, or probably his latest suite. And one of the things about French music is that it's not played as it's written. And in fact, they talk about that too. They say, I don't want this. François Couperin, who is another composer, writes in his one of his prefaces to some of his works that we don't play our music as it's written, unlike the other countries. I mean, the Italians will play, you'll recognize the piece, but the French, because they jazz things up, they swing things. So I had to make certain decisions about this particular piece that I'm starting because it's an allemande, as your program tells you. And what that means is it's from Allemagne, which is Latin for Germany. So it's basically a German piece, which the French are doing. So maybe the jazzed up notes aren't appropriate for this, I don't know. But I'm doing it that way because I thought, I learned it the other way and I played it that way for many years, and then I changed my mind and now I'm playing it this way. So, and I think it works, Anyway, okay, here we go. Let's see. I have to get used to this instrument. Okay.
Thank you, Elaine. She will be back at the end of the show with a little more from her with the second movement, actually, of that piece that you just heard. So thank you to her. But now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the show, things are moving forward at the Performing Arts Center. We had our first performances with audiences a little over a week ago, and it was so great to welcome people back into the Performing Arts Center and welcome audiences back to hear our first shows. Now, we are looking forward to seeing more and more folks as the semester progresses. Now, coming up in just 2 weeks is our popular Best of Broadway performance from the Department of Music and from other students. So here to tell us more about what to expect with that are the director, Megan Gerlach, and the music director, Stephen Altanel. Hello to you both.
Hi, Blythe.
Hi, Blythe. Good evening.
Welcome back for your third visit to this show.
Woohoo.
Doing this over and over again. You guys are actually, and maybe even your fourth. Now that I think, oh no,
Steven's
Third.
fifth, I think.
I think it's my fifth Best of Broadway, but third time doing this with you.
Yeah, third time on this. Yes, you guys have done best. Yeah, that's right. And that's right. The 2020 was before things shut down. So yeah never mind.
Right before.
Yeah, it was one of our last, if not the last show we had an audience for.
It was the last thing I did.
Yeah, it was pretty close to the last thing we had. Yeah. Anyway, that's a terrible thing to talk about. So we're not going to. Yeah. Hooray!
A triumphant return to the stage.
Right. Please welcome back.
Yeah.
Both of you, we are so excited to be bringing these Best of Broadway back to the concert hall, performing in person. We did some great work virtually. That was very lovely to see with the students, but we are thrilled to be having folks back in person, having them performing live, having an audience there. Other than all of those things, which we are very excited about, tell us what we can expect with the return of Best of Broadway.
Well, gosh, we've got songs from before Golden Age all the way to contemporary, like shows that are on Broadway right now as well, because Broadway's back. Collection of songs around our homecoming theme for Adelphi, Building Tomorrow Together.
125 years, right?
Oh yeah,
125
right.
years.
It's Adelphi's 125th year. It sure, yes. Thank you for staying on theme. Since I fully forgot about that for a minute. Yeah, it was like, wait, what? I'm like,
Well, you know, the themes always help us group the songs together, and we were trying to think of a title for the show. We always try to find a title or a song that is like the title song of the show, but we're like, why not just Building Tomorrow Together? Let's just title it that, which is the theme of the school.
I mean,
and performing things fall into that category. And you know, like we normally do when we take things out of context, it has a different kind of meaning when you take it out of the story of the show that it's from.
Yeah, absolutely. And also perfect because it is happening during Spirit Weekend this year, which is, you know, as close as we get to a homecoming weekend at Adelphi. So it's sort of perfect in a tie into all of that. So that's great. So now, how long have you been back in rehearsals? How has everything been going? How are things going? How are the students adjusting?
I mean, it's wonderful to be back in the room making music with them and just being live and interacting. And we have kids who've done, this is their third show with us, but we never met them in person. So it was like wild because I was like, oh, I know you, but we never actually met in the flesh.
Yeah.
That's
It definitely makes their lives a lot easier, for sure.
Oh, I mean, of course. Yeah. I mean, even though they're still wearing masks in rehearsals, especially when they're together, you know, which makes things a little tricky for certain things, but it is, at least you're in a room together and, you know, we're able to get the gist of things and to start down that road. And then,
just to be in the same room. Stephen and I were at the concert for the Jonathan Larson Scholarship.
Oh, right. The Larson Legacy concert.
The Larson Legacy concert.
From the grant. Yeah.
And just being in the same room. Like, I think that's one of the first concerts I've actually been to since everything. Yeah. Being in the same room together is such a huge deal. And it feels so like celebratory and wonderful. And yeah, and oddly strange that like, oh, we haven't done this for so long.
Right. Yeah. Right? But then it's like instantly you're like, oh, right. I remember. Yeah.
Okay. Everything about this is something I love. Being in a dark room with a bunch of people responding together. The play between audience and performer. It like there's nothing better.
Yeah. And when a concert is as excellent as that one was,
right?
It really also helps. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Benjamin is great and pulled together a great group of people.
And you guys had a great turnout for that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. It was a good time. As will be Best of Broadway when it comes back in just a couple of weeks.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, wow, we're here.
But while we're talking about it, and to give people a little taste of something, we are going to share a clip from last spring. So obviously that means that this is, a pre-recorded. This was recorded at home. And isn't the way you're going to be seeing it, but is the kind of music that we're going to be sharing. So do you guys want to tell us about this this piece before we hit it?
Sure. This is one of our performers, Mallory Clark. This is from our online show. So like and now for something completely different. Here's a pre-recorded, but On My Way, it sort of fits a theme. It sort of fits our theme. Yeah. On my way back to the stage, baby.
Our theme in the spring was traveling, and this song is from Violet by Janine Tesori and Brian Yorkie, and it's about her getting on a bus and starting this journey, an adventure, and it's a great song.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I am happy to share it with everybody again for those who watched it last spring, and for the first time for those of you that didn't. So enjoy. We'll be right back.
Another sunrise wakes me before another night. It's wide, but not too wide to fall. And as I'm going along, I carry with me promises that can't go wrong. As I travel on, as I travel on, my way.
Love
So
that.
great to see that again.
Oh yeah, it's also great to just see how much, even though we've done the show twice now for a year, just the growth and development, even in that process. Like we were just talking about Mallory, she's just doing such a great job, and it's just fascinating to think about this time and what we've been through, and now like coming together and doing it in person for the first time. And this is the first show that Megan will have done with us live in the PAC.
Yeah.
It's just it's awesome to be doing it again.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's really looking forward. I mean, and also I think that's part of the reason why this is one of the shows that people really, that our audiences that don't necessarily come to a lot of our student productions do come to see Best of Broadway, because you do get to see, you see those students evolve over the course of the time they're in. So many of them do it year after year and semester after semester. And it's you really get to see that growth. And so that's just a lot of fun for an audience as well, for those people that are regulars and paying attention. So it's great that we'll get to see her again and more folks as we do that, which, as I said, is coming up. So Best of Broadway is Saturday, October 16th at 8 p.m., Sunday, October 17th at 4 p.m. We are back to our usual schedule of shows. So that is Saturday evening and that is Sunday afternoon. As I mentioned earlier, we are also going to be live streaming this show. We are live streaming some of our productions throughout the semester, and this is one of them. So the Sunday afternoon performance, which is as I said, at 4 o'clock, will also be streamed online. Tickets to that are available just like the regular tickets for those people who are unable, for whatever reason, to attend the show in person, which obviously is what we encourage everyone to do. But we know that, for various reasons, people can't necessarily be there. So we are going to try and keep that opportunity available for people as long as we can and as often as we can. So, we spent the money on all that gear to be able to do things last year, and
Even now.
yeah, might as well keep doing it. So it is good. Yeah. That's Best of Broadway. Thank you both so much for being here, for being part of this. It is always great to see you both. I'm looking forward to seeing you both in person again, and getting to watch the show and talk about it and to catch up. And it's really going to be great. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Anything you guys have to say before I move on?
No, we just hope you come and enjoy. We're going to have a
Please
blast.
come to the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check us out.
It's going to be great. It's
It
going to be
is.
great. Good to see you both.
Thanks.
And as always, tickets are available on our website at pac.adelphi.edu. So be sure and head there to check that out. Grab your tickets to either the live show or the live stream, and also, see what else we have coming up. So thank you again, Megan and Stephen. I will see you very soon. Thanks.
Yeah.
Good night.
Great. And also a big, speaking of Best of Broadway, I do want to give a big thank you to all of our donors from the past year, from all the past of time that the Performing Arts Center has existed, especially during the past year, especially for Best of Broadway. I want to give a special thank you. Best of Broadway, as always, is part of the Poole Family Broadway series. They have been sponsoring that for several years now. Mary Jane and Thomas Poole are big supporters of us. They're great members of the community in Garden City. And this time more than ever, I can honestly say that there is a bunch of programming that is going to happen this season at the Performing Arts Center that absolutely would not be happening without their generous support. So I cannot thank them enough. They have been great supporters of us. All of our donors have really stepped up throughout this pandemic to help ensure that we are able to return to a robust season of live performances. Obviously, the university is a big contributing factor to that. And so, we don't have to worry about keeping the doors open and the lights on. But, there are massive costs to be able to bring you productions like we do. And, as the university reprioritizes things, because of our population and all the extra costs of the pandemic on everyone, we've had some great donors that really have stepped up to help us. Barbara McElroy and her family, the Poole family, so many others. If you are interested in supporting our programming, we have many ways for you to do that. You can visit our website where you'll find information about becoming a member. You can sponsor a particular show like they have done, or a series of shows, or you can just simply make a donation to the Performing Arts Center. No gift is too small, and it all absolutely helps with what we are doing. If you want to just make a donation, you can head to our website, pac.adelphi.edu/donate. That will take you right to the donation form. And I encourage you to do that to help us bring all the great programming we have planned already for the fall, things that we're getting ready to announce for the winter and spring, and, continuing down the road. As I also mentioned, Best of Broadway is part of Adelphi's annual Spirit Weekend. So that takes place all weekend long, from October 15th through the 17th. Lots of events, both in person and virtually, all weekend long. The details are on the main Adelphi website, which is adelphi.edu, and that will take you to more information about Spirit Weekend. Now, coming up next here at the PAC this week, actually, if you are watching this live on Monday night, it starts tomorrow, is the Department of Theater production of what was a finalist for the 2017 Pulitzer Prize for Drama. It is a play by Sarah DeLapp called The Wolves, about a women's soccer team. They are having their final dress rehearsals as we speak. So I spoke with some of the production team, the students involved in putting this show together over the weekend about the show. So here is my conversation with part of the production from The Wolves. Enjoy. Okay, well, I am here with several members of the production team for our upcoming Department of Theater production of The Wolves. Thank you all so much for taking time to do this. I know you are in the throes of your tech rehearsal because you open in just a couple of days. So I really appreciate you taking the time to be here and do this and talk a little about the show and give folks an idea of what they can expect when they come in person, for the most part, to see our production of The Wolves, played by Sarah DeLapp. But why don't, before we get into that, let me have each of you introduce yourselves and tell us a little about what your role is on this production. Let's start with you, Gabrielle.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle. I am a junior at Adelphi. I am a technical theater major, and I am concentrating in stage management, and subsequently, I am the production stage manager. So I really pull kind of the moving pieces together and coordinate everyone for the full day of rehearsal, and I kind of run the space.
Hello, I'm Fernando. I'm a senior acting major. I'm also the assistant director for the show. So I work directly with Maggie on working with the actors. We work with the designers for the show to make the sets and the light and the sounds all come together. Just overall, just making sure that the show moves in kind of the direction that me and Maggie kind of set out.
Great.
And you're also the fight captain and the dramaturg.
Oh yeah, I'm also the fight captain and the dramaturg for the show. Yeah, so I did all the research. I did like over 90 pages of research for the show, and I'm also fight captain with the fight choreographer director, who is Ray Rodriguez.
Great.
I'm Evie. I'm an actor and alumni. I graduated in 2014. And I was asked back to play the role of soccer mom and be a sort of acting mentor for the students as well.
Which is fantastic, and we are thrilled to have you back. So that is always good to see. here, and we love bringing folks back. So, as much just to get to know the students and talk about where you are, but then also to have a chance like this to actually work with them is a really great and unique opportunity. So we're thrilled you're here and have time in your schedule to be able to come out and join us for this role. So again, thank you all so much for doing this. So let's start with just a basic, like, the synopsis of the show. What is the show about? What is the Wolves, and what are we going to see here in the Black Box? And Fernando, since you've done so much background work on that, why don't we have you tell us a little about just what it is the show is?
So the show is about a group of an elite soccer team, an elite girls soccer team. And I think the show takes place always in between when they're warming up for a game. And I think that's really important because it's that moment before battle. It's the planning, it's the preparation, and the play is really about, to me, celebrating and praising these women warriors. That's what me and Maggie's always have called them. They're warriors, and for us, we really wanted to highlight that. And so essentially the show kind of transports us through this journey of 6 scenes of seeing them all, what happens when warriors are really in the thick of it, not just in battle, preparing for battle, but what are those inner moments, those inner conflicts between each. And through the play, we kind of get to see them grow up. We see them really grow up, and some come into their own and own who they are. And because they're all young, they're all 15 to 17. So they're really in that stage of getting to know themselves. So we really get to see these women warriors own that title of being warriors. And for them, that kind of warrior name is the Wolves. And they say, we are the Wolves, and that ownership of that title, I think, is a really big part of the show. So, to me, that's the main thing Sarah DeLapp, I believe, wanted to highlight with the show these women. She says she wants the women to be not seen as girlfriends or really next to a man. They didn't want to see, she wanted them to be celebrated for, the women's bodies up there, celebrated and praised for what they do. And especially, working with the women's soccer team, we wanted that to be a love letter to them, to all women athletes.
Right. And as you said, it takes place over the course of their whole season, right? So it's, you see lots of evolution in their interpersonal relationships, as well as with the game and how the season goes, and various things happen throughout without, giving too much away. But so that's great. Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned, you guys also had the opportunity to work with our fantastic Adelphi women's soccer team, and they've been big collaborators with the team and really helping with that. So that's another great, unique piece of this production.
Yeah, it's really been amazing to work with the team. I think we've all had a lot of fun working with them on the clinics, on going to see their games, and supporting them. And they have been such a huge support to us. When Maggie and I first went up to them to kind of present that, oh, hey, we're doing a show based on what you guys do. And they were all, we came to them during a practice, which they were all really getting in the headspace for. They were all just like, yeah, cool. And then after a moment, they realized, oh, wait. And then they came up to us and they talked to us and they were like so excited. And every time we've shown up, they've really kind of accepted and supported what we're doing. And I think they can tell that there's a lot of love that we're putting into this. And they have given that right back to us. Working with Juliana has been such a wonderful experience. Her expertise, her kindness, and her generosity with our students, who many of the girls in the cast have either never played soccer or have very little experience with soccer. And she really not just gave them the skill, but the love for the sport, which I think is, to me, I think the most important thing, because these girls love what they do. It's their identity. Same as on the women's soccer team, but also for the show. So right. for Juliana to impart her love and her passion for the sport to our cast members. I don't know if the show would be at the high caliber that it is that I watch and see them if it wasn't for Juliana really providing them that love. You know, she really gave that to them. So I mean, it has been a beautiful experience to work with the soccer team. It really has.
That's really fantastic. And like you said, it sort of takes place between the games, so we don't actually see them playing, but we do see them doing warm-ups, and that's definitely an important piece of the show. So to be able to, you know, get that firsthand experience and being part of a team and what that means and part of a sport. So that's great. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you for that. That is super helpful. And so then as we've talked, you know, we've had a number of collaborations with folks, both with the soccer team, but also, you know, due to some of the unique challenges of the situation we're in right now, that also has given us an opportunity to bring in a few more students and bring in some alums, both to act as understudies for the production, because, you know, in addition to having that for as part of our COVID protocols and being prepared for people to maybe have to disappear for a little bit. But also this is a show where folks can get injured. And so it's been also helpful to have that as a background, as a backup and as a plan, and to bring back alums, as you know, we'll talk to Evie in a second, but sort of coordinating all that. Gabrielle, as the stage manager, you know, do you want to talk about pulling all those various pieces together and some of the unique challenges of this particular show?
Yeah, sure. As you can see, I'm literally in our theater right now because we're going to tech right after this. But we really started this production. It's like in the beginning of summer. As soon as this other school year ended, we were right on it. We were in design meetings. We were doing things. So coordinating those meetings and having to be there sometimes because the stage manager doesn't always get there was a joy to see. And then my first rehearsal with them was a soccer clinic, and it was something so different that I had never done before. Walking into the soccer clinic, you know, we have fun, so I get dressed up in a ref's outfit, but it was really different, and it was different to have to be outside on the turf and having actors get ready in that way for our show rather than just giving them scripts, which we still pulled together. So for my first day of rehearsal, you know, you're bringing in scripts, contact sheets, calendars and stuff like that. And I think the way I really got to bring together with the understudies was I had to contact each of them and be like, hey, what are your conflicts? When can we have you? And then within that, I have to make a huge rehearsal schedule. So I think the soccer clinics and all the warm-ups we had to do, being incorporated on top of the understudies was really challenging, but I'm so grateful for it because we have a wonderful show, and we already have people step in sometimes when people get injured. So because some of our actors, we have not played soccer before.
Right.
We're not soccer players.
Yeah.
So it's wonderful that we had brought in understudies based on like, oh, hey, COVID. So we want the show to go up really bad. So we need to just have people just in case. And then thankfully they were there during some of the soccer clinics and stuff to learn, and they're ready to step in, which is wonderful because we've had people injured and that gives them time to recover while we still have the show moving forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't even just as part of the rehearsal process, it allows you to keep going, and for somebody to not have to force themselves to keep going because there's no one else to cover for them, and rehearsals need to, you know, so it's been great. I mean, I feel like our plan is, you know, to keep that one of the many things that we're going to hold on to going forward, to try and, you know, incorporate that, because there are so many extra bonus good things that come out of that really have helped on this production and the others we did last year too, where it was like, oh, well, we had you here for one reason, but since you're here, it's great to be able to do this. So yeah, great. And also then allows us to reconnect with some of our alums in a fantastic way that's more than just, hey, come in and do a workshop or talk to our students, to actually get to work with them and to have them be part of the cast of the show and part of the process. So Evie, why don't you tell us a little about what that's been like for you to come back and to get to work with the current students and some other alums, but through this process.
Yeah, it's been a really incredible experience because I'm working with so many different generations of Adelphi alum. It's so collaborative. It's such an open space. and a welcoming space. And everyone is trying so hard and giving so much to this piece. I think that's because of all the different generations, but also because of COVID. And we're all just so grateful to be here. So to be in a room where everybody is giving different pieces of themselves to the piece and to the rehearsal is it's really moving and it's really powerful. And I think it comes through in the work as well. But I'm very happy to be back. I'm learning from the students just as much as they hopefully might be learning from me. And it's also nice just to work with them instead of coming back in the context of I'm here to tell you about the industry and Q&A. It's nice. I'm just working with them. There's less of that sort of power dynamic, and so we can just casually talk. And if they have questions, I'm here. It's been really lovely.
That's excellent. I mean, it's been great to have so many folks back and to be part of this. And I really think, it also has been, I mean, listen, this is our first show back where we have a full cast of people that are interacting with each other through the whole show and not just a bunch of little scenes with 2 people or 3 people far apart from each other, and then when they leave the stage, then the other people come on. So, thanks to our health services and science in general, we've been able to reset on some of that and bring folks together. And so it's, again, also great. We're adding, the alumni aspect into that too, where so many folks are able to come and be part of this and then, work with the soccer team and, so many unique things about this particular production that is really fantastic. So I do, I encourage everyone to obviously come and see the show. That is the main goal of all of this. It is The Wolves. It is coming up October 5th through the 10th. That is a Tuesday through Sunday. There are matinees, there are evening performances throughout that time. The schedule is a little bit different every day. So as always, I encourage folks to head to our website, which is pac.adelphi.edu. You'll find the full list of performances there and the full schedule online. Also, because of COVID and people's comfort levels, but also just now we have the technology to do it. And so we're going to keep doing it as long as people keep giving us the rights and letting us add it into our contract to be able to, with this particular show, because of that it is in the black box and the layout's a little different, we are actually just going to record one of the early productions, one of the early performances of the show, and then we'll make that available as a video on demand online on Sunday, October 10th, the last day of the run of the show, so that people can go online and they'll have all day, they'll have 24 hours to be able to watch that recorded performance of the show from earlier in the week for those who are unable to attend in person for whatever reason, or if somebody just wants to watch it one more time. We're certainly not going to stop you. So, but you do have all day on Sunday, October 10th, and then it will disappear. So make sure you take advantage of that if you're able. So again, that's October 5th through the 10th, which is right around the corner. When this actually airs, that will be the next day or whatever it is you're watching this. So, again, head to our website to take that and check that out. Is there anything any of you want to add in or talk about before we go?
I just want to say that this has been one of my favorite experiences here at Adelphi, if not my favorite. The passion of the work, the passion of people, of the love that people are putting in to every aspect of the show. I mean, we've had so much support. We've had so much. I mean, the care has really been put in there, and it has been an amazing experience working with our alumni, with having Evie in the room, the number of times that they've been in the room, it has been wonderful. The thing that what they bring to our actors, it makes me emotional just because I have never worked on a show like this, and I mean it has been a pleasure to be in the same room with you guys, and I can't wait for everyone to come and see it. That's really what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I just want to extend a thank you to my whole whole team, our whole company. You guys have been amazing. This is just for them because, whoa, we made this happen. This is incredible. I'm looking at the set right now and I cannot wait to be up in the booth calling and knowing that everyone is doing their job and everyone is enjoying. So thank you.
It's great. And I am going to share one photo that is floating around from one of the days where they were out doing practice on the field, doing their work, and prepping for this, and taking a minute to give us, a nice moment to help publicize the show as well. So obviously not in the theater itself, but is outside and getting able to work there. So again, thank you all so much for taking the time to do this. I hope things continue to go well on the production, and and I'm going to let you all go so that you can get to tech rehearsal. I know you have a long day ahead of you, so thank you all again for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, of
So
course.
lovely.
And with that, we are almost at the end of another episode of this show. Now, we have lots of great performances coming up at the PAC, including all our student performances. The classical ensemble Imani Winds is going to be joining us in just a few weeks. The return of magician Mike Super in November, and Tony nominee Norm Lewis will be here in December with a holiday concert. So as always, do visit our website, sign up for our e-newsletter for more details. We have lots of really great things coming throughout the semester. We're going to be announcing some stuff for some of our 2022 shows here in the coming weeks. So we're really looking forward to welcoming more and more audiences back. As a reminder, everyone indoors while they're at the Performing Arts Center must wear a mask at all times, except while they're performing. And audience members must show proof of either of that they are fully vaccinated or have taken a recent negative COVID test to be able to attend performances at the PAC. So we want to keep everyone safe. We want to keep everyone healthy. We want to make sure we can continue to welcome audiences live to the performances there and keep all of our campus community safe and healthy. So we are happy to be doing that. And I am happy to say that we have had great response from audience that is also thrilled that we are doing that. And that's made people feel a lot more comfortable to be back in the theater. So to close out the show, I'm welcoming back Elaine Camperone with the second movement of the harpsichord piece you heard her play at the beginning of the show. I will be back in 2 weeks on Monday, October 18th with the next edition of this show. And meanwhile, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you in a couple weeks, and I look forward to seeing you live and in person at the PAC real soon. Enjoy.
Now, courant, which is the second movement, is French for running. So this is a running dance piece, and again, it's written in even eighth notes, but the French played it like da 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 da. How are you going to hear it?